The voucher program allows a tenant to rent through private landlords while still paying a portion of their rent. Typically, it's 30% of their income, which is their rent amount, and then the housing authority covers the remaining amount of the rent owed, and we pay that directly to the private landlord. When a landlord becomes interested in the Housing Choice Voucher Program, they can stop by our office or they can give the Rockford Housing Authority a call and request a landlord package, which will explain all of their responsibilities in order to become a landlord in the HCV Housing Choice Voucher Program. The applicants have a packet which is called the Request for Tenancy Approval. We call it the RHA. When they find a place that they like, they give the landlord the RHA to complete. Based on how that landlord completes the RHA, it is the landlord's decision whether or not they want that tenant to be responsible for all the utilities.
I was responsible for all my utilities. I would say that when I needed something fixed, I would call on the landlord, and the landlord, he was always timely to do his repairs.
So when an applicant finds a unit, they will have the RHA packet that they will then submit to the landlord if they are interested in renting that property. The landlord will then complete that RHA, and then once it's completed, submit it to Rockford Housing Authority Section 8 Department. We are required to check that, number one, that the applicant can afford the unit. Then if it's affordable for the client, then number two, we also have to check that the rent that they're asking for is reasonable. Once those two things pass, then we will submit the information to our inspection department, who will then reach out to that landlord to schedule an inspection on the unit.
You need to have a tenant who wants your unit. Once a tenant looks at your unit and says, I have a Section 8 voucher, then they have to apply to Rockford Housing, and then they'll come out and do an inspection. They don't inspect your unit prior to that. Then if they find things that are wrong, they give you time to fix them. But it could be something as simple as a cracked receptacle, which is a 50-cent item.
Once the unit has passed inspection, then the landlord will then reach out to that applicant to sign a lease. In this program, it is required that a 12-month lease be executed. And the HAB contract is then created, which will then be 12 months as well. After that initial first year, then it is up to the landlord whether or not if they would like to have the tenant go month to month, sign a new lease, do a 6-month lease. That is all determined by the landlord at the end of that 12-month lease. So to be a landlord in this program, to me, is a big benefit because number one, you're going to get paid. And we make our payments the first of the month. So that's a guaranteed payment.
We manage 800 doors. So we're busy, we're very busy. A lot of the owners, I would say, they like the security of knowing that it's guaranteed money. When it comes time to getting paid, there's never any issues getting paid. If I ever have a question, I have their numbers. They always pick up on the first ring. So that's nice that I can get a hold of them. There's never any issues getting paid when COVID was going on. I know that there was other owners we represent that are only cash pay, and they were affected by that because they didn't have that guarantee.
Being a landlord in this program, to me, is a good thing because it builds a good relationship with the landlord and Rockford Housing Authority, as well as the family. We encourage the families to also build a good relationship with their landlord. Communication is key. And I feel that here at Rockford Housing Authority, we have very good communication with our landlords.
My name is Anna Medina, and I've had nothing but good and positive experience with the Rockford Housing Authority. I've been with them for almost 10 years. I came from New York with the program. I transitioned all the way over here, and at first I started off with renting houses, 3 bedrooms and stuff like that. It was very great because it was like there were subsidized rents, you were able to pay half and then they paid the other half. I was responsible for all my utilities. I would say that when I needed something fixed, I would call on the landlord, and the landlord, he was always timely to do his repairs. I say that it was totally worth it. It was a great outcome. Now I'm a homeowner and I love it.
Tenants like me, like if something needs to be done, you know, they really jump right on it. So I really have no bad comments about them. They're pretty fair with me and my household. I would recommend, you know, families to Rockford Housing as well. I mean, they've been pretty fair with me and my family, so I will recommend them to another family.
The people here, the inspectors, the people that work here, Roz, Lucy, Courtney, Bridget, everybody that we work with is phenomenal.
With the Moving to Work program, RHA is offering $1,000 to new landlords, $500 to existing landlords, up to 1 month's rent for any damages in the unit once a family moves out, and also 120% increase for the payment standard, which means a higher rent can be asked for.